all of the members of the press being here, both in person as well as those of you who are joining us via Zoom. Since the state of Mississippi stepped in to fix Jackson's water system, we've significantly increased the quantity of water produced. We've restored water pressure to the city. We've installed an emergency rental pump. We've fixed and reinstalled broken parts on site, and we've monitored and tested water quality. On Tuesday, the Mississippi State Department of Health began officially conducting tests of the water quality. They collected 120 samples for 2 consecutive days. We can now announce that we have restored clean water to the city of Jackson. As of today, we can state that the boil water advisory can be lifted for all those who rely on Jackson's water system. Moving forward, we will continue to monitor the system. Additional testing will be administered to ensure continued water quality. Now, I do believe it's very important that we set expectations up front. While we have restored water quality, this system is still imperfect, and we are going to address issues throughout the duration of the state's response. It is possible, although I pray not inevitable, that there will be further interruptions. We cannot perfectly predict what may go wrong with such a broken system in the future. We do know that the experts tell us that the state's boil water notice can end today. Emergency orders will remain in effect and in full force until deemed appropriate to lift. We will continue working with our local and our federal partners to maximize the effectiveness of our response. Over the course of this crisis, we assembled a tremendous coalition on behalf of the people of Jackson. I appreciate our local and our federal partners who have joined our effort to restore water to the people of our capital city and to fix this plant. And while some in the national media have attempted to paint a narrative of division, there has been one common focus throughout all of this, and that focus has been restoring clean water to the people of Jackson. That was the collective goal that we all shared. I want to thank all of the members of the Mississippi National Guard for their efforts. Their tireless work has ensured that everyone in Jackson got the clean water that they needed. In fact, they have helped over 200,000 vehicles, and in so doing, continue to showcase that in this state, there is a tremendous commitment to serving their community. They distributed almost 11 million bottles of water to the residents of Jackson. This is no small feat, but our Mississippi National Guard is used to performing incredible tasks like this. I'd also like to thank the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, as well as the Mississippi Forestry Commission, who did an incredible job managing that complicated logistical operation. We all appreciate the speed they brought to securing the necessary water and other goods for the city. Our team at MEMA has continued to showcase their professionalism and their effectiveness even amidst tense emergency situations. I believe that I speak for all Mississippians when I say that we are incredibly thankful for the experienced, steady hands that lead and manage the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency. The Mississippi State Department of Health has done a tremendous job of leading the response to restore clean water for the residents of Jackson. The department has continued to display its expertise and its commitment to caring for Mississippians. No matter the crisis, our health leaders have continued to display the highest level of competence, and for that, all Mississippians are thankful. I'll also note the incredible extent of our fellow Mississippians and our fellow Americans who came together in support of Jackson. Churches, nonprofits, and individuals donated supplies from around the country. Volunteers manned distribution centers. Prayers gave us strength. I saw one story of a Texas couple that drove all the way here to open up their car and deliver bottled water to people. I know that there are many more stories just exactly like that one. That is the foundation of the America I know, and that is the foundation of the America that I love. Neighbor helping neighbor. Our communities are built on this support. To everyone who has stepped up during this crisis, please know that you will never be forgotten. The people of Jackson and our entire state appreciate you. Through it all, Mississippians have continued to show their resiliency. From flooding to this water crisis, I recognize deeply the challenges that the last few weeks have presented for Mississippians in our capital city. This time has been hard on all of us, but now we can move forward together stronger than ever before. Now, we know that there will be a lot of hard conversations about next steps and the work that we need to do to create a sustainable water system in the long term. All of that is important. Today, I want to focus, however, on thanking the team that has pulled us out of this darkest part of the crisis and express my gratitude to all the Mississippians and to all the Americans who helped play a role in getting us to this point. At this time, I'd like to specifically thank Mac McCraney, the leader of the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, and call on him to make some remarks. Thank you, Mac.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Governor. Just want to give a report out on kind of where we are as it looks at, if you're looking at the mission with the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, the National Guard, and the other partners that we brought in to a unified command here to combat this problem. So the Governor already talked about it, 11.7 million bottles, and I'm continuing to put those out today, so that number is going to even continue to rise. So as this boil water notice is lifted, our water distribution will go away. That's one of those things we talked about at the very beginning was life safety for everyone, for fire safety, and to make sure that they had those things that they needed. Well, we've done that through this process. So we will be shutting down those operations on Saturday, September the 17th at 6:30 at our normal time. This allows all the logistics to move all of these trucks, all of the National Guard to reposition their equipment to get their soldiers back home and get on with their regular day jobs and not the one that they do when they're responding into a state disaster. So equivalent all that water to 362 semi-tractor truck trailers rolling down the highway at one time. That's what they were able to accomplish, and it was a feat within itself. So our call center will remain open during this time. We announced that a few weeks back. During that time, we fielded, Governor, about 755 calls total for some type of assistance. So we were able to do that. Along with the Department of Human Services, they actually took water to 417 homes to help those shut-ins and those personnel that might need that a little bit of extra help during this time. So what are we doing next? That's kind of where I'm going to go in with this report out to you. Where are we headed? So as of today at 12 o'clock, MEMA, along with the Unified Command, we did a request for quotes for contracts to do program management at the site. So that closed at 12 today, and we'll be assessing that this afternoon and tomorrow, and very soon we'll pick that vendor and we'll get that in there. So we're looking at the medium and the long-term look at that. That's what that program manager is going to look at, everything that we've done up to date, where we are, what all those construction things that we've done on that site, repair program, and then look, what's next? What is the second, third, and fourth step that we're going to have to go on? So that's something that we've engaged with the Department of Health and others that are on the site to make sure that we've got that in our pocket and we're ready to continue on to make O.B. Curtis the actual water production site that it can be. It's not over at this time, so let me just give a shout out to some people, some states. Maryland, South Carolina, Louisiana, Michigan, and Ohio. We average right now about 26 personnel on site from these other states, whether they're the Class A operators, whether they're the mechanics that actually shoot the water out, and also technicians and every other thing that's needed there. So a real arsenal has come in from those other states, and we continue to do that, and we'll continue to do that throughout this process until we get O.B. Curtis back up where it needs to be. So that's not something that's going to stop here today. So that we're looking at going forward. These missions will continue. I am on the hook till November the 28th. That's the original disaster date. It's got 60 days from that, but I can also ask the governor to ask for another extension if we need to do that with FEMA, and we're sitting here ready and loaded for that. So the City of Jackson, Department of Health, EPA, and the Corps of Engineers has assembled a great team under the leadership of the governor to attack this problem, figure out what's really wrong, fix what's really needed in the beginning, repair it, and then look at the long-term solutions when we can gather other funds to be able to come in and do that. And I can't brag on that team enough. There was a notice that came out yesterday. The governor asked for an SBA declaration, the economic injury disaster loans, and he got it. So here we are. We've got Hinds County as the main county, but also the continuous counties that are around Hinds County: Claiborne, Copiah, Madison, Rankin, Simpson, Warren, and Yazoo counties all touch Hinds County, so they are available to be able to apply for that. How much that loan is going to cost and whatnot is going to depend on that business and what their shape and situation is. So that would be through the SBA, and they're going to put a center here within Hinds County to be able to do that in person, as well as you can do that online at the SBA website. Some of the last things we look at, the governor talked about it and I talked about it, 11.7 million bottles of water. What do you do with them? There's a lot of empty bottles possibly in the Hinds County and Jackson area. So working through other state agencies of the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality, they have some information on their website for a site closest to you to be able to recycle. Also, there's another organization that I want to tell you about is it's at www.replenish, and that's REPLENYSH.com, replenish.com. You punch in your zip code, they're going to tell you the closest place that you can go and make that happen. So we want to be cognizant of during this disaster, the things that we have to move and get to you that we want to be able to give you an opportunity to have those things recycled. And also go on to the website for MDEQ, and they're going to give you those locations as well. So that's all of my update right now, Governor, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mac. Appreciate all of your efforts in this particular situation and all of the disasters that we've dealt with over the last 2.5 years. At this time, I'm going to call on Jim from the Mississippi State Department of Health. Jim has been the lead command at the O.B. Curtis facility and has just done yeoman's work. I can't tell you enough how hard Jim has worked. We worked closely with him for a long time, particularly during COVID, but this particular person leading the effort has really gotten us to where we are, because I think while he may or may not say it today, when we got into the facility, it probably was in even worse shape than we had ever imagined and anticipated. But we immediately went to work fixing things. We've still got a lot of work to do. There's no doubt about that, particularly in terms of redundancies and giving ourselves margins for error. The lack of those is the reason that we still have significant risk. But I want to thank Jim and turn it over to him. Jim.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you so much for those kind words and your leadership in this response. On behalf of the State Health Officer, Dr. Dan Edney, and all our hardworking team that I've been blessed to have as part of this mission at the State Department of Health, we're here to help celebrate this good news as well. As the Governor mentioned, the state-imposed boil water notice for the City of Jackson was officially lifted at 1 o'clock today. We understand that nobody could be happier than the residents and businesses of Jackson, Mississippi. I want everyone to remember, though, while this is very fabulous news, as the Governor alluded, we still have much work to do at the plant. There's much work still to be done in the distribution system. And just as it was before we had the boil water notice, state-imposed boil water notice, there will be times when lines will be worked on or pressure may drop in a certain subdivision while crews are working, that precautionary boil water notices may still be issued in different parts of the city. We're also pleased that the boil water notice is lifted, but there are a few reminders that I'd like to remind everybody about what to do when a boil water notice is lifted. You need to discard any drinks or ice, food, things that were made during the boil water notice. You want to flush your faucets for 3 to 4 minutes to introduce the clean water that's coming from the plant throughout all the house plumbing. You want to rewash any food or drink contact items with clear system water. Again, that should be available throughout the city now. Always check your water filters. If they've been processing for a while, you want to check those filters and replace those as necessary. Do not use water from hot water heaters for drinking. Please run your dishwasher a couple of times before washing dishes. Again, you just want to make sure that all of the clean water is in your home as you begin to use it again. If you have questions about that information or want some more information about that, you can always go to the Health Department's website at www.healthyms.com, and you can find information on things to consider when returning from a boil water notice. Regarding lead in the City of Jackson water, as you know, in addition, some homes in the Jackson area had previously shown elevated levels of lead in their drinking water. The City of Jackson has an ongoing project to address the causes and provides information for customers in their required consumer confidence report. They can be found on the State Department of Health's website or at the City of Jackson's website. Although the majority of home lead testing performed to date identified no lead or lead below the action level set by the EPA, the Health Department is continuing its recommendations as a special precaution, especially for households with young children or pregnant women. These precautions will remain in place until the City of Jackson makes the necessary corrosion control corrections to the system. Please know the Unified Command at O.B. Curtis is working to accelerate the timeline to restore corrosion control in the Jackson water system. Some additional precautions to include: before using tap water for drinking or cooking, run your tap on cold for 1 or 2 minutes. For more details on this process, you may look at cdc.gov under their water section. Households should never use hot water for drinking or cooking. Residents should clean out their faucet aerators by unscrewing the aerator at the tip of the faucet and removing any particles of sediment that is collected in the filter screen. Any child 5 years of age or younger and any pregnant women should use filtered water, and the type of filter should be an NSF 53 certified filter, or bottled water for drinking and cooking. Baby formula should be ready to feed or prepared using only filtered water or bottled water. Parents with children 5 years or younger may want to contact their child pediatrician or primary care provider for conversations about adequate lead screening and blood testing. Further information on lead safety in older homes can also be found on the Health Department's website at www.healthyms.com. As the governor mentioned, in addition, I've asked the EPA to conduct some additional sampling. We're going to do that. That they're developing a water sampling plan right now that will include a battery of tests under the National Primary Drinking Water Regulations that will test for biologics, chemicals, radiological type of contacts. It's the entire battery of tests that are performed on water systems to bring that lab equipment into the state of Mississippi and/or to use the Mississippi Public Health Lab to conduct those additional tests. Just a little quick plant update. Yesterday, the conventional water treatment at O.B. Curtis produced just over 11 million gallons of water. The membrane plant continues to improve production capacity and set another new recent record in producing 16 million gallons of water yesterday. JH Fuel, which has been really a workhorse during this crisis to continue to make additional water as well as additional pressure to the system, produced 10 million gallons yesterday, letting them step down just a little bit from the production they've had to do previously. So in total, 37.2 million gallons of water were produced yesterday in the city. Let me also share my thanks to the team that has been assembled and working so hard at the O.B. Curtis plant. They've now been able to take all 3 conventional basins, many of which, as you know, were filled with lots of sediment, and a system that was failing that was able to take that sediment out of those basins. They've now drained all 3 basins, cleaned all 3 basins, and refilled those basins, placing them back into service. Most of the immediate identified repairs have all been completed within the O.B. Curtis plant now. We have a team that's also assisting at JH Fuel with some maintenance items to make sure that that plant resiliency remains. And we know that additional repairs will be needed, most definitely be needed down the road for a long-term, sustainable, and resilient water system. We continue to appreciate the teams of folks brought through Mississippi Rural Water Association and from around the country through the Emergency Mutual Aid Compact. There have been electricians, Class A operators, mechanics, and instrument technicians, all valuable resources to the effort of restoring safe drinking water to the city of Jackson. We also appreciate those federal and state partners that have been working tirelessly 7 days a week to restore clean water to Jacksonians, and we remain thankful for all their efforts, as well as the continued efforts of the very dedicated operators working and maintenance staff working in the city of Jackson. Make no mistake, this is a group effort. Together we can do much more than we could do individually. Thank you, Governor.
Again, thank you both for your unyielding efforts throughout this crisis. You and your teams worked day and night to face down this daunting task. We are all incredibly thankful for the teams at the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency and the Mississippi State Department of Health. Literally 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We have been working to get to this point, but again, we're not done. We've got more work to do, and we'll talk about that in the days and weeks and months to come.